Hey foodies, and welcome to Cooking with Kiana. Today I have a delicious Philly cheesesteak, fully loaded, twice baked potato recipe. That's right, get the best of both worlds with this delicious fusion of two recipes. But before I begin, make sure you guys like this video if you enjoyed the recipe, and let's get started. Alright guys, so here are all the ingredients that I'm going to be using for this recipe. Make sure you guys check the description box below. I will always have the full recipe listed there. So first I'm going to start off with the ingredients that you're going to need for the Philly cheesesteak. For that you're going to need 1 small onion, a half of a bell pepper, 1 teaspoon of onion powder and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, a half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper, and a teaspoon of garlic salt. I'm also going to be using 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce as well as a half a pound of steak. Now what steak you choose to use is up to you. You can use ribeye steak or you can use sirloin steak. Just make sure you slice your steak into thin pieces like you see here. I'm also going to be using 4 slices of provolone. For the twice baked potatoes, you're going to need heavy cream, 2 to 3 large russet potatoes, 3 tablespoons of butter, 1 teaspoon of complete seasoning, a half a teaspoon of black pepper, and some salt to taste. And lastly, I have a cup of sharp shredded cheddar cheese. This is going to be going on our cheese sauce. So let's start off with preparing our potatoes. So you want to go ahead and make sure you wash off your potatoes really well. And then you're going to poke some holes in your potatoes. That way they can steam while they cook. Once you're done poking holes into your potato, you're going to go ahead and season up your potato with a generous amount of oil. Then you're going to go ahead and follow that up with a generous amount of salt. Doing this will help you achieve a crispy, flavorful skin while still having a moist, fluffy potato on the inside. So go ahead and give that potato a good rub down. Make sure you really massage all of those seasonings into your potato. If you want to, you can wrap your potatoes in aluminum foil. However, if you do that, your potato will be a little bit more on the soggy side. So if you don't want that, then just use a cooling rack like you see me doing right here. And we're going to go ahead and pop this in a 400-degree oven for an hour. Once your potatoes has came out the oven and they are nice and cool, you want to go ahead and take a sharp knife and just slice off the top. Once you're done cutting off the top of your potato, you're going to go ahead and get a spoon and scoop out that interior. Making sure you do not scoop out too much of the potato. You want to leave a little bed of potato in there. That way our potato can keep its shape. You're going to take all of that potato that you scooped out and you're going to place that into a large bowl. And this is what your potato should look like after you have scooped out all of that inside. So now I'm going to show you a second way to do your potato. So this is a way you can do it if you want to make it like an appetizer. You're going to go ahead and split that in half down the middle. And then we're just going to scoop out the insides like we did before. And then we're going to place it in our bowl. And as you can see, I have scooped them all out. You can see I have the big potato and then I have the little bite-sized ones. All right, now let's move on to the stuffing. You're going to go ahead and take 3 tablespoons of butter and 1/4 cup of heavy cream. Use a potato masher or a fork to go ahead and mash that up until it is a light and fluffy and creamy consistency. Now you want to go ahead and season that up. I'm going to be using a teaspoon of complete season, a half a teaspoon of black pepper, and a little bit of salt to taste. Go ahead and give that a good stir until our potatoes are well combined so we can head over to our potato skins so we can stuff them. Alright guys, so this step is super simple. You're just going to go ahead and add the potato filling into all of your potato skins. Now make sure you don't overstuff them because you want to make sure you have enough filling to stretch for all of them. Making sure you smooth that top so we have enough room to add our Philly cheesesteak toppings on the top of this potato. So let's go ahead and get started on our cheesesteak topping. So in a separate bowl, you're going to go ahead and add a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a half a teaspoon of crushed pepper, and just a pinch of salt. Go ahead and massage that in with your hands. And once we've got that all massaged, you're going to go ahead and add about a tablespoon of butter into your skillet, and then go ahead and add in your onions. Go ahead and stir those onions until they get nice and translucent. And then you're going to go ahead and add in your bell peppers. You want to make sure you stir that in as well. Let those bell peppers soften up a bit before you add in the steak. That's why it's very important to cook your onions and peppers first, because the steak is going to take the least amount of time to cook. So keep stirring that until your onions and peppers start to soften up a bit. And once they have softened up, we're going to go ahead and add in that steak. So go ahead and give that steak a nice sear. Move that around so it get nice and browned. Make sure you flip that over so you can get that nice crust on that steak. So now I'm going to go ahead and split this up into twos so I can add the cheese on top and we can get that nice and melted. So I'm going to add 2 slices of provolone cheese. I'm going to make sure those overlap so they can be nice and melted over my steak. And I'm going to go ahead and do that to each pile, just so I can have that cheesesteak fill. So go ahead and cover that up with a lid. Let that steam. Once it looks nice and melted like this, it is time to add the Philly cheesesteak topping on top. And then there's one more step. This is optional for all of my cheese lovers. I'm going to be making a quick cheese sauce. It's going to take you less than 5 minutes to make. If you guys are not a big fan of extra cheese, you guys don't have to add this sauce. So in a separate pan, you're going to go ahead and add in a cup of heavy cream. Go ahead and give that a good stir on medium to low heat. Once that sauce starts to thicken, add in 1 cup of sharp cheddar cheese. And then at this point, if you have any seasonings you want to add in there, you can go ahead and add that in. You can add in a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. This is just cheese sauce, so you don't want to make it too salty. But go ahead and give that a good stir until that cheese sauce is well combined and it has thickened up nicely. It should be a nice creamy consistency like you see here. So now let's go ahead and drizzle that cheese sauce over my potato, and man, does that look delicious. I cannot wait to try this. But let's go ahead and add a little bit of parsley on top. And you know that parsley don't do nothing but just make it look pretty. So if you guys want to, you guys can skip that. And there you have it, my Philly cheesesteak, fully loaded, twice baked potatoes. Now let me go ahead and dig into this so you guys can see what the inside looks like. Just look at how cheesy and delicious that is, man. You guys definitely need to give this recipe a try. When you guys do, let me know how it came out in the comment section below. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the recipe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.